Hello everyone. So our topic for today is accounting for barangay. The first part is the general accounting instructions. Based on section 334 of RA 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of the Philippines, states that the financial records of the barangay shall be kept in the office of the city or municipal accountant in simplified manner as prescribed by the Commission on Audit. On COA Resolution Number 2014-003 dated January 24, 2014 requires the adoption of Philippine Public Sector Accounting Standards or PPSAS by all government agencies. Hence, the need for the alignment of the barangay accounting to the said standards. So next is the fundamental principles. The financial transactions and operations of the barangays shall be governed by the following fundamental principles. Number 1. No money shall be paid out of the local treasury except in pursuance of an appropriations, ordinance, or law. Number 2. Local government funds and monies shall be spent solely for public purposes. Number 3. No public money or property shall be appropriated or applied for religious or private purposes. Number 4. Disbursements or disposition of government funds or property shall invariably bear the approval of the proper officials. Number 5. All claims against government funds shall be supported with complete documentation. Number 6. Local revenues are generated only from sources expressly authorized by law or ordinance, and collections thereof shall at all times be acknowledged properly. Number 7. All monies officially received by a local government officer in any capacity or on any occasion shall be accounted for as local funds, unless otherwise provided by law. Number 8. All collections shall be deposited intact with Government Depository Bank or other authorized depository bank for the account of the barangay, except those collections to be remitted to the city municipal treasurer. Number 9. Trust funds in the local treasury shall be paid out only for the purpose for which the trust was created or the funds received. Number 10. Fiscal responsibility shall be shared by all those exercising authority over the financial affairs, transactions, and operations of the barangays. Number 11. Every officer of the barangay whose duties permit or require the possession or custody of local funds shall be banded, and such officer shall be accountable and responsible for the said funds and for the safekeeping thereof in conformity with the provisions of the law. Accounting policies. The following general policies shall be observed in accounting for barangay funds and property. First, for accounting purposes, the fiscal year for the barangay shall start on January 1st and end on December 31st of each year. Next, barangay accounts shall be kept under a double entry booking system. Next, the barangay financial transactions shall be recorded using the chart of accounts prescribed by the Commission on Audit. Next, barangay books of accounts shall consist of a Journal of Cash Transactions, Annex 1, General Journal, Annex 2, General Ledger, Annex 3, and Subsidiary Ledger, Annex 4, which shall be maintained by the barangay bookkeeper under the direct supervision of the city or municipal accountant. Next, cash transactions shall be recorded in the JCT or General of Cash Transactions, and non-cash transactions shall be recorded in the General Journal through a Journal Entry Voucher, Annex 5. Next is funds granted to the barangays for specific purposes shall be recognized as Special Trust Funds or STF. Next, subsidies and grants for specific purpose shall be accounted for as trust liability, Once conditions are met, the portion of the grant corresponding to the expenditure incurred shall be recognized as income, and the expenditure as expense or assets as the case may be. Next, Unspent Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Fund or LDRRMF and share of the Sangguniang Kabataan or SK shall be recorded as STF. Next, Registry of Special Trust Funds or RSTF as presented in Annex 33 shall be maintained for each STF. Next, appropriations and obligations shall be recorded, monitored, and controlled using the Record of Appropriations and Obligations or the RAO. Annex 6. A cash book, Annex 8, shall be maintained and updated daily. Next, revenues shall be classified as exchange and non-exchange. Next, revenue from non-exchange transactions. A. Taxes revenue shall be recognized when the taxable event occurs and the asset recognition criteria are met. B. Transfers. Number 1. Transfers without conditions are recognized as revenue. Number 2. Transfers with conditions are recognized as liability and the corresponding liability is reduced when the conditions are satisfied. Next, revenue from exchange transactions shall be recognized upon receipt of assets or services or extinguishment of liability and directly gives or renders service of approximately equal value. Next, all collections of the barangay shall accrue to the general fund unless otherwise provided by law. Next, payment in kind shall be recognized at fair value. Next, expenses shall be recognized when incurred. Next, all lawful expenditures and obligations incurred during a fiscal year shall be taken up in the accounts of that year. Next, liabilities shall be recognized at the time goods and services are accepted or rendered. Next, inventories shall be reassessed to lower of cost and net realizable value or replacement cost if held for distribution or consumption at every reporting date. Next, supplies and materials including drugs and medicines shall be recorded in the appropriate inventory account. The cost of that inventory item shall be assigned using the weighted average method. Next, when inventories are sold or utilized, the carrying amount of those inventories shall be recognized as expense. Any write-down of inventories shall be recognized as an expense in the period the write-down occurs. Next, all borrowings and secured loans shall be recorded in the barangay books using the appropriate liability accounts. It shall be measured at amortized cost. Next, a monthly bank reconciliation statement shall be prepared by the city or municipal accountant upon receipt of the bank statement. Next topic is the Barangay Accounting Plan. The Barangay Accounting Plan shows the accounting workflow of barangay transactions from the approved budget to incurrence of obligations and expenditures, collection of monies, payment of obligations or disbursements, recording of transactions in the books of accounts, and preparation of the financial statements and reports. Initially, the source documents shall be the basis for preparing reports by the barangay treasurer. These reports together with the source documents are the basis of recording the transactions in the books of original entry. These are the Journal of Cash Transactions and the General Journal. Journal entries based on reports and the Journal Entry Voucher are recorded in the Journal of Cash Transactions or General Journal and posted to the General Ledgers and Subsidiary Ledgers. Based on the General Ledger, trial balances in the financial statement So next is the special trust funds. The barangay may also be a recipient of specific purpose funds granted by other levels of government and donors. Also, unspent budgetary items of the 5% calamity fund become special trust funds at the close of the year. Grants for specific purposes received from sources other than the government shall be recognized as income once the condition for the grant is complied. So next is the specific policies. So first is the expenditures for the special trust funds shall be for the purpose for which the special trust fund is created or received. Next is disbursements for specific special trust funds shall not exceed the balance of the special trust fund. Next, a registry for special trust fund. Annex 33 shall be maintained for each special trust fund until the special trust fund is fully utilized. The registry for special trust funds shall show the amount of funds for specific purposes and charges thereof. Next, any unspent balance from the appropriation for current year, appropriation for the local disaster risk reduction and management fund shall at the end of the year be transferred to the special trust fund. So next is the chairman of the Committee on Appropriations shall post in the Registry of Special Trust Funds the trust funds from the reports on collections and deposits submitted by the Barangay Treasurer. Based on the Registry of Special Trust Funds, the chairman of the Committee on Appropriations shall certify as to the availability of funds on the disbursement voucher or payrolls charged to the Special Trust Funds. As such, the chairman of the Committee on Appropriations shall regularly update the Registry of Special Trust Funds by posting all certified